Executive Order 60 issued by Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, which allows us to meet in what they call virtual or without being present physically at a meeting. And then there is an opportunity for anyone to object. If I hear none, we'll proceed. For those of you who may be listening in the public, there will be an opportunity for you to address the board, ask a question or make a comment. That will come at the end of the meeting, and I'll give you a phone number that you can call in on. And if I forget, someone will remind me. Alicia, maybe make sure that I don't forget that.
Okay.
All right, good. So let's go ahead and call the roll, please. Or Alicia, you gonna do that?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Jay Bell,
Present.
Alice Cannella,
Here.
Darian Collins, Kenny Cluster,
Here.
Doug Fisher, Curtis Jones, Walker Jones,
Here.
Bill McGriff,
Here.
Gene Shipley, Boardville,
Here.
Dick G.
Here. And let the record show that those members present constitute a quorum. So we'll proceed. Before we go too far, I can't help but we need to take a minute just to take a breath and find something to be optimistic about. There's been more than enough to be pessimistic about and even oppressed by. And I think if we would just take a minute before we begin this meeting and think about something that brings optimism and hope to the future, maybe that'll put us in a better state of mind to take care of this business. Okay, let's just take a moment. Good, thank you very much. I feel better already. All commissioners have been given board minutes for the meeting of October 28th, 2020. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jay. All in favor, say aye. I'm sorry, we can't do, we have to call the roll for approvals. Pardon me. Well, let's call the roll, please, Alicia.
Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boardville,
Yes.
I think that's it. Who did I miss? My other phone thing.
Everybody else.
Dick G.
Who was the last one, Boyd?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I seconded the motion. Do I still need to vote?
Yes, sir.
I was not. I'll vote yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jay Bell.
Who else?
That should be it.
You get me?
Oh, Dick G.
Thank you. Okay, very good. We'll catch on here. This is the most awkward part of the meeting, but that's that we determined at the last meeting is a requirement that we call the roll for these things. Also, you have been given work session minutes of November 12th, 2020. Do I hear a motion for approval of those minutes?
So move.
Thanks, Alice. A second? Thanks, Walker. All right, let's call the roll for approval, please.
Okay. Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boardville,
Yes.
Dick G,
Yes.
J Bell,
Yes.
Okay. All right, likewise, you have been given a copy of the consent calendar. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. For a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Boyd. Alicia, let's call the roll, please, again.
J Bell,
Yes.
Alice Canetta,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boardville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes. Okay, great. That takes us to council's report. Neill, or the top of Neill's head, do you have anything for us today?
There is no report.
No report. Great. Thank you very much. That takes us to the director's report. Mike, you want to take over from here then?
I will start off with the SSO report. We had 16 SSOs in October. We had 6.73 inches of rain. If you noticed in the packet at the graph, I guess we're starting the long uphill climb towards more SSOs as the wetter months come. Hopefully, we won't have a repeat of the fall and of 19 and early 20, but that's typically the way things work out.
You want to remind everybody what the objective of the consent decree will be?
Well, really the objective would be to have a July 20th month or every month. Unlikely that happens, but we need to be much closer to zero than February of 20.
Yeah.
Nobody has any questions, I'll go ahead and talk about the PSLP. We had 17 calls in October, and that's in line with the last 3 months. We've had 18 calls, so PSLP is working about like it normally does.
Okay.
We have started shutoffs again. We began that in November, so we are having, making payment arrangements, turning in shutoff lists, that sort of thing. So that's going about as well as you might think, but it's something we have to do.
Is it too early? And it may be to know the frequency, the current frequency compared to what it was before the COVID took over?
Well, I think it is. I mean, I would speculate that we probably have quite a bit more to be shut off than we've had before, just because we've been not shutting off for so long. But
Yeah, that's what I'd expect. Okay.
we had a EPA meeting this past Monday. I mentioned last time that there was some language to be worked out in terms of some of the grouping in the for the work that needs to be performed in the CD. So we're still working through that. Probably have another meeting in a couple of weeks, but we're still marching towards being able to sign the CD. I don't have an exact date, but it's fairly soon, I believe. got just a little bit of a project update. Of course, we have a number of projects in design or conceptual, but we've got about 8 that are either in construction or very close to construction. East Ridge 3 and 4, it's in the very early stages. The I-75 collector project in East Ridge, good progress now on the gravity line. They've had some issues with the bore under I-75, but I think they've worked out some of those details. So it's moving along. We are still in discussions about additional work on Lookout Mountain. We met with the city last week of Chattanooga, and we're still working out some of those details. The Roy Lane and Green Gap pump station upgrades are in progress. The Snow Hill Road force main repair is in progress. The Red Bank rehabilitation will begin fairly quickly, but it's not actually begun construction yet. We're still working through the Signal Mountain treatment plant upgrades and the alternative study. And we're also still working through the details of the work in Saudi. But the best news I have, and I've got that just a couple hours ago, is we have been released, or part of the Ultawa area is released from moratorium. So we'll be able to begin allowing new projects in that area. And Kayla, if you could put up that map I sent you just so we can better explain it, that would be helpful.
Yeah, that's great.
So previously the green and the orange were also red, in addition to the red area that's there around the Shorttail Springs pump station. So with the release of the moratorium, we are able to start allowing new projects in the green area and above. The area in orange will still remain in moratorium pending the performance of the pump stations throughout the wet season. And then the Shorttail Springs area will remain in moratorium until we get to the Shorttail Springs project upgrade finished. So that will be a much longer time. I suspect the orange will change to green probably somewhere in the April-May timeframe. And then, but right now, the good news is the area in green that was previously under moratorium, and now it's no longer going to be under moratorium. And it's primarily because of the line in blue there that we have the new construction farther down towards the middle of the screen, and then the reroute in the upper section. But the state gave us the formal release today. So that's good news. That's the best news I've had in a while.
Yeah. And I think you're to be congratulated. I think this thing, and not just you, but you and staff and everybody there, this project has been going on. This as I see it, this is the most significant work we've done since I've been associated with WWTA. And it's really nice to see it come to completion and know that it really is going to make an impact on the future of Hamilton County. It's just great job. Anybody else beyond me?
I'd like to speak, if I may.
Yeah.
As a member of the development community in Chattanooga and Hamilton County, I think this is wonderful news, and I think it's a testament to the hard work of the staff and the contractors involved, and I think its impact cannot be understated. It truly can't. This is the fastest growing area we've got in Hamilton County, and this means a huge amount for the good of our county. So congratulations on a great job.
Thank you, Jay. That's great.
Well, I've got to say, a lot of people, even well before my time, have been working on this. So this represents a lot of work getting it here.
Yeah.
Well, good job.
The Snow Hill project, the repair that was going to be made to that one line, Is that the main holdup in the orange area?
Well, the actual overflows put us in the moratorium, occurred right around the Snow Hill station, so they weren't entirely prepared to release that section yet.
Okay.
That's really the reason the whole orange area wasn't released now.
Okay. But that's just a short while coming.
Yeah, we've got a few details to work out and we need some of the projects to finish up. But it's nice to have the regulatory component behind us.
Okay. And then I know there's a project for Short Tail Springs. So that's,
Yes.
yeah, cool. Anyone else, anybody got any questions?
I got a comment.
Go ahead.
I want to congratulate Mike on that too, this bill, but
Yeah.
and make a point that we help those developers get us a bunch of new customers, because the more we could use more customers to spread this cost of these improvements over. So anytime we can lift a moratorium and add customers, it's a good thing for us. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay,
Can I speak
Mike?
again?
sure, Jay.
It might be a good idea for Mike to contact the executive director of the Home Builders Association and see if there wasn't a way to get this information communicated to the development community in a formal way, so that they knew maybe they were looking at land, or they had projects in the works that they'd put on hold, that they knew they could restart and get things going as quickly as possible.
I'm sure we can do that. We've got a pretty good line to that person, don't we? That's a great suggestion, though, and I think we need to we need to make that formal. A letter or something.
May I say something?
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure that when moratoriums were released in Chattanooga, a press release went out. So it wouldn't be a bad idea, would it not, to advertise a little press release about the lifting of the moratorium?
Why not? Let's take advantage of everything at our disposal.
I would prefer to work through a few more technical details before we did a press release.
Fair enough.
Although
Okay.
this meeting may provide its own press release, it's hard to say.
All right. Anyone else like to say anything? What's the next item on the agenda, Mike? Do you have?
Tap on fees
Okay.
for October. We had a good month.
Yeah.
Hopefully that trend will continue.
There does appear to be an upward trend there. Slow, but sure. Anybody got any questions on that? All right. What's next? The resolutions?
Resolutions.
Alicia, are you going to read those?
Yes.
Okay.
Resolution number 112001, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution accepting ownership of the White Oaks Crossing Phase 2 Sewer System Project number 20-314 at the contractor's certified fair market cost of the sanitary sewer system of $164,867. All required easements have been granted to the WWTA for the maintenance of the sanitary sewer system. And whereas record drawings of the sanitary sewer system are on file with WWTA. And whereas all regulations and stipulations applicable to the construction and dedication of sanitary sewer system to the WWTA have been met. And whereas the contractor has submitted a certified fair market cost of the sanitary sewer system of $164,867. Now therefore be it resolved by the Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, a resolution of the WWTA accepting ownership of White Oak Crossing Phase 2 sewer system, project number 20-314. Sanitary sewer system be accepted at the contractor certified fair market cost of $164,867.
Okay, thanks, Alicia. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So move.
Thank you, Bill. How about a second?
Second by Kenny.
Thank Kenny. Any further discussion? Okay, Alicia, let's call the roll, please, ma'am.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Canetta,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boardville,
yes,
Dick G.
Yes. Okay, number 2, please, ma'am.
Resolution number 1120-02, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution to revise section fees and sewer billing of the sewer use rules and regulation of the Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority. The WWTA Board has regulations regarding customer sewer billing adjustments for repaired leaks, filing and refilling swimming pools. And whereas the WWTA Variance Committee recommends revising fees and sewer billing of the WWTA sewer use rules and regulations. Whereas fees and sewer billing of the sewer use rules and regulations should be changed in accordance with the attachment. Now therefore, it be resolved by the Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, a resolution of the WWTA that fees and sewer billing should be changed as noted above.
Okay, Mike, you want to kind of remind us what the essence of this change is?
So what we are going to do here is offer a credit unrelated to a repairable leak once every 3 years. We routinely get calls where people have left their water hose on or had some other kind of issue that caused them to use water. And historically, things we were unable to verify, like we do with normal adjustments, where someone provides a plumber's receipt or something like that. We just decided we would offer a courtesy adjustment unrelated to repairable leaks once every 3 years.
All right. And this was discussed and recommended to the full board by during the work session. So this is, everyone should be familiar with this at this point in time.
Motion to approve, Kenny.
Thank you, Kenny. How about a second?
Second, Alice.
Thank you, Alice. Is there any further discussion on this? This will be
Yeah,
implemented.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, Bill?
yeah, I just need to tell you, I'm going to vote no on this. I don't think it's customer friendly enough. So I just want to state that before the vote.
Okay, fair enough. I think when it was discussed in the work session, the idea that this may not be the ultimate solution, but this is a good place to start, and we'll evaluate how it works and adjust as we go if it needs to be tweaked. Is that okay?
Yeah, I believe it does provide some discussion and some room for improvement, but I think it may be a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So we have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Alicia, please call the roll.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Canetta,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
No.
Boardville,
yes,
Dick G.
Yes. And I do believe we have two variance requests that are pending. That would be addressed by this rule change. So we'll get back to those people, I'm assured.
Yes.
All right. Hey, did someone have a question? No? All right. Alicia, let's go to resolution 3, please.
Okay, resolution 3, a Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority, WWTA Board Resolution, authorizing the chair, executive director, and/or chief engineer to execute documents to amend the agreement with SMME Inc. for the Lookout Mountain Sanitary Sewer Basin Rehabilitation Project, WWTA project number 17-316, by an amount of $198,880 for a total cost not to exceed $835,450.
Okay, Mike, you want to just remind us?
So the Lookout Mountain project was broken up into 2 phases because there were a couple of sections of work that were going to require more permitting and more evaluation. So we've completed the phase 1 portion. This would be the phase 2 portion. It's SRF funded. There's approximately $1.4 million remaining to do some additional actually dig and replacement work and some manhole rehab and potentially some upsizing of some lines just where the flow goes off of the mountain and starts down towards the city of Chattanooga.
Okay. Walker, and I believe you're familiar with this project too, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'll make a motion for approval.
Okay, very good. Do I hear a second?
This is Jay. I will second.
Thank you, Jay. Is there any other discussion? You mentioned that there's 1.4 million left over and we're going to use a portion of that. Is that right?
We will probably use most of that with this project.
Okay. All right. Alicia, let's call the roll.
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Canella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boyd Ville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes. Okay, that completes the resolutions. Caleb, are you going, or Taylor, who's going to do the AR?
I'm doing the AR today, sir.
Okay.
So for the month of October, for Tennessee American Water customers, we billed out $1,198,000, of which $493,000 of that was in late fees.
Yeah.
So the late fee amount was higher. The new bills on their own were $704,000, so that was also higher. Are there any questions on this?
No, not so many questions, just a disturbing trend.
All right. Which brings us to our collection rate for the month of July was 88.4%, which was about 8% less than our average collection rate in the year of 2019. And our new cumulative collection rate is now 95.9%.
Well, does anybody have something positive to say about that?
Well, it did appear to start an upward trend. Hopefully it'll stay that way.
Yeah, let's hope. My guess is because of the ferocity of this COVID thing through the winter, that we're in for a long haul on getting it back to where we'd like to see it. And it's yet to be known what the impact on our cash is going to be. But it is what it is right now.
It's going to get better.
Yep. Okay. Anyone else have any comments or questions on that? Mike, under other items, is election of officers? I didn't see that anywhere else on the agenda. Is that a good place to do that? Or were we going to elect officers today?
From what I understand, just the approval of the consent calendar basically elected the officers. I don't know that we were discussing that. I don't think we had any kind of vote last time we did this.
Okay. Okay. So if you read the consent calendar, you know who are the officers. I'll just go through it I've agreed to continue as the chair. Alice has agreed to continue as vice chair. Secretary is Nell Walker Jones, who moved up from assistant secretary, replacing Tyler. And like I said at the work session, we're really going to miss Tyler. And I regret that he's not going to be with us again. We left the assistant secretary vacant. And then Bill has agreed to continue as our treasurer. So that will be our slate of officers going forward. So with that, yes, Mr. Bill.
I think I didn't attend the work session, as you know, but I think that the election of officers ought to be a separate item and not on the consent calendar. My personal opinion, it kind of buries it in the consent calendar. So I mean, it's okay, but I think it ought to be a separate vote.
Well, I'm open to that. Neill, are you there? Neill? Hey, Neill? I thought she unmuted, but she's not communicating. Well, let me put it to the board. Does anyone have a comment with concerning Bill's question?
It really wasn't a question, Mr. Chairman. It was a preference of, I think it's probably best that we do it as a separate item, but I mean, I don't think it's a legal issue. I guess you could put it on the consent calendar, but that's kind of like burying who the officers are. And, you know, you've announced it, but I think it's something that we should vote on. The board is the one who approves the officers. But anyway, doesn't matter.
I would agree with Bill that it would seem like that would be appropriate to be a separate item and clearly marked.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I agree. I think we probably do need to go through the formality of nominating the officers and having an election. So do I hear a motion that we nominate the slate of officers that have been recommended?
I move that the slate of officers as recommended and announced by the chairman be approved for the next year.
Okay, here a
I'll
second.
second that motion.
Second, thank you, Kenny. Any further discussion? Then we'll vote. Alicia?
Jay Bell,
Yes.
Alice Cannella,
Yes.
Kenny Custer,
Yes.
Walker Jones,
Yes.
Bill McGriff,
Yes.
Boardville,
Yes.
Dick G.
Yes. Very good. Bill, thank you for speaking up. I think that was a good comment, or a good preference, as you put it. I don't have anything from the chair. So let's go. Curtis is not here. Walker, do you have anything?
We
Mike-
still have
Mike-
to do we have to do the treasurer's report.
Oh, sorry. We sure did. Bill,
I didn't mean to make you mad. Oh.
I tell you this, that's right. I'm sorry. I can't imagine you making me mad. That doesn't work. Okay, what do you got?
Okay, you'll see in your packet that we made a little money overall in October, $120,621.93 for a year-to-date total of $1,760,927.97. In a regular operating, which is listed non-PSLP, which is, I call it the operating account, we had a loss of $64,751.01. But our year-to-date profit is still $1,029,799.31. Probably the reason for that loss is that we had to pay the closing cost for the refinancing, the $6,750,000 issue, and we had to pay our share of the closing costs on the Hamilton County's bond issue, which allots $17 million to the WWTA. Those costs were about right at $77,000 for the refinancing, and about $86,000, which was our share of the closing costs on the county's bond issue. So if you add those two together, it's about $163,000. And as you can see, without those one-time expenses, we would have had an operating profit of $100,000 in the month of October. So that is one of those timing things. So it's not too alarming. It just turned out that way. And we had an operating profit of $185,372.94 in the PSLP program for a year-to-date profit of $731,128.66. So we are still making money, not as much as I would like for us to make, but pretty doggone good. You'll notice you have those graphs, and the cash. We started this fiscal year out with there you go, with $695,804.53. And at the end of October, our cash was $968,549.73. So as you can see, we are $300,000 more cash at the end of October than we had at the end of June. Our available cash after, is up a little bit, as you can see, but that's not bad considering all of the capital projects we're doing out of cash on hand. And so I think we're doing very well in that area. And you can see on the revenue and expense, the graph for revenue and expenses, that just shows what I have just discussed in the profit and loss for the year.
Yeah.
And you can look at the other graphs. Got a debt service payments, which is, we're up a little basically because of a timing, a principal payment that was made by the bank on October 31st. It was due November the 1st. I think Peggy can expound on that if she wants to, but there was a $96,000 principal payment that the bank paid a day early, which made the debt service in October look a little higher than normal. Other than that, that is a brief recap of our finances for the month of October and the 4 months ended October 31st. And if you have any questions, Peggy will be glad to answer them. Or we'll try to answer them anyway.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Does anybody have any questions? I agree. I think, you know, the financials look solid to me. Obviously, the cash we have is not necessarily spoken for dollar, but we have plenty of future use in mind for that cash in the not too.
And keep in mind that we need to maintain a strong cash position because of, well, certainly because we need the cash, but also because at some point in time, we're going to have to issue debt under our name. It's going to be a little while longer now that we have $17 million from Hamilton County, which we should be thankful for, but we need a strong cash position, which whenever we do go to the market under our own name to issue debt. So
yeah,
we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, outstanding. And again, any questions from anybody? Now we can go to the commissioners' reports. Walker, do you have anything?
I do not, but I just would like to add to what Bill had to say on his comments about our finances. A lot of that goes, and we do this often to Mike and staff, but it can't be stated and said enough. Those guys, through what they've been dealing with and the consent decree and everything else, it's been a chaotic 2020, and they are superb. I really appreciate their efforts this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Walker. Boyd, have you got something?
Just to echo those comments, and also want to thank Mike for following up with me. Called the other day, and we've got him on the schedule to have a chat with our new council members and returning ones to get them up to speed, up to date on what's going on with WWTA in terms of our community. I think that'll be very helpful, and appreciate him taking time to follow up and get that set up. I look forward to it.
All right. Jay, have you got anything else?
No, I haven't to add. I think everybody summed it up quite well.
All right. Bill McGriff, anything else?
No, other than it's pretty amazing, like Walker said, considering what we've been through in the more, kind of the policy we've had, and that probably should have hit us pretty hard. The staff is still doing a great job, and we're still doing well and having a positive bottom line. I think that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. Alice?
Nothing else.
Okay. Alice, do you have anything?
No report today, Dick. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll just echo management staff, the whole organization, I think, under extenuating circumstances, is just doing an outstanding job. So speaking for the board, just keep on doing what you're doing. It's fantastic. Just as an example, Natasha is not here today, and Alicia stepped in, and everything worked perfectly. So we're glad to have you here. Thank you for your help, Alicia.
Thank you.
All right. Our next meeting, you might want to make a note of this, because this is December. December 16th will be the, let's go back. December 10th will be the work session. And the following week, the 16th of December, will be the board meeting. And then we will go back to our normal schedule in January. And it looks like we will continue to be virtual for some time. I don't see us gathering in person anytime soon. Maybe a vaccine will help that, but even that is too far to schedule. And Mike, I'm assuming that we are not going to have the Christmas party we normally have.
I ended up with a best selection. Wow, very cool. Well, good luck to both of you in this next round.
Mike, you're muted.
Challengers and
Mike.
masterminds will times trivia battle. The first question will be worth 500 points, and each question that follows.
Mike,
That
Where is-
technical difficulties. We will not be having any Christmas party.
I'm,
There's a directive from the mayor.
yeah,
Do that.
I'm really sorry. That's always a good time. I look forward to that, but
In the heart of Moscow, holds the
we'll just have to
largest
come up with a good excuse to have a party when the time comes.
100 points. So
Is there any other thing that needs to be brought up by a commissioner? At this time, Alicia, would you open up the phone line? And I'll speak to the public and say, if anyone is there listening, now is the time. If you have a question or a comment of the WWTA, if you will dial 423-544-2391, we'll stick around here for a couple minutes and be willing to answer your questions.
Daniel. Time, Fred Pence, 1,000 points. Ticonderoga, New York sits near the southern end of Daniel.
Well, while we're waiting, I would like to say on behalf of staff, thank you to commissioners for the kind words. They're doing all the work.
Yeah, but the work's really getting done. That's what's really, I mean, we're just accomplishing more than we've ever done in my time on this board. It's great.
Then now we just have to determine which mastermind you'll be facing.
Dick, I'd like to add, it's sincere as can be from everybody. We all see the work that's going on down there. That's what's so wonderful about it. I mean,
Donated Canada diplomacy practiced by which nation?
And they're doing all that in spite of Mike, you know?
Exactly.
they're going to permanently mute you, Bill.
He's got too many preferences lately.
Don't worry if they mute me. I won't know how to unmute myself, so I'll be okay, you know?
Alicia, is anyone there?
Nope, no one.
No one's there.
Nope.
I think we've waited a sufficient time. Peggy, you haven't said anything, but we're always glad to see you. Glad you're there.
I couldn't make it without Peggy.
Yeah, that's for sure. We know
Neither could I.
that. All right. We are officially adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
Take care.